What is good, guys? Welcome to the last part of the economy tutorial. This is part 5, mostly doing troops and teaching you guys how to control your king to get maximum honor from dances, feasts, and church, plus making the army, finishing up the statues. Let's get right into it. So we just got the enough, enough honor to promote. Now we are Baron. Now here usually I like to put the inn, place the inn. The reason is because you can actually make more gold if you place it. So I'm gonna do it. You don't have to. Really, like the amount of gold you get from not having it versus having it is just very small. The difference here is just that we're gonna be placing it. I'm gonna buy some ale. And since we are getting more happiness from this, we can actually set our granary to half. This way we consume a lot less bread and we don't lose on happiness, so it's cool, it's pretty solid. Buy some ale there, and now we just continue the process of making statues. And do we get like 25? Maybe I'll go for 20, I don't know. So that's 15 statues, 10 more. And we keep doing it. Now here, as you guys can see, the king is going somewhere. Now where exactly is he going? The answer is the church. He's going to the church. Church is starting. Church, if the king goes to the church, we get 150 honor. But we don't want the king to go to the church because the feast is about to start. So how do we get the honor from the church and still make the feast? And the answer, he's actually not going to the church. God damn, he's going to the queen's chamber. We don't want that. We want him to go to the feast. So we just click there once, and he'll go there. And the queen is gonna go there too. She'll get into her thing, and she's gonna get out. We close the door. She understands it's closed. Oh, she's actually going to the church. Okay, kind of confusing there. I don't know why the king went to the feast instead of the church. Now, one little trick you can actually make to make sure the king always goes to the church when there is church to go is to sell the royal food. So you just sell all the food right here, and then the king will go to the church inevitably. Then after he goes to the church, you buy the food and start a feast. So had he gone to the church, all you had to do is click here again when you know he's going to the church. Like, he gets out, and instead of getting inside the bedchamber, he goes like maybe to the left. Maybe he just goes straight past the bedchamber. Basically, all you have to do is just click here, and the king will then proceed to do anything else but go to the church. However, you still get the church honor. Here we got some honor. I don't even know where the honor came from. Let's see, yeah, not from church. I don't know. Thing is, we promoted. Now what we're doing is just finishing our setup. Just gonna put some moats here just so nobody attacks me. Usually you have a teammate on the side. More moats here, just like we talked about before. More moats over here. More moats over here. Now this is a assassin proof base. So this is it. This is what you have to do. Walls, and then a layer of water. No assassins can come through. This is what you want. You're now assassin proof. Now you have to place your siege camp and start making that army. Start making the army. We're gonna start with some shields. I'm gonna do like 100 and I don't know, 110 shields, I guess. 100 shields, I think it's fine. Also, the feast just started, which means we lost some food, so just buy more. You're gonna keep making feasts until the peacetime ends. Peacetime ends at 1090, so you're gonna keep making feasts until it ends. So we missed the church here. which is bad. So we're not gonna have the maximum amount of honor we could. And the queen also went to the church. Now that is something you're not gonna want to have happen. So I'm actually gonna close the church here. And what I'm gonna do actually is place a wall here, a gatehouse. So this way the queen is prevented to go to the church. This way she'll keep working, and as a consequence of her working more and consequently making more dresses, she'll go through more dances. More dances mean more honor means more knights, more army. So that's what you have to keep in mind. So let's just finish the setup here. Now there are many ways to close the corner. This is the corner of the map. Many ways you can do it. I'm gonna do like so. Making sure this is assassin proof as well. Now you don't have to completely close it. You can actually place a gate here, and I'll show you how. Now either you can just finish like placing these, or you can place a gate. And the gate is going to be placed in such a way that assassins cannot come through as well. Don't forget, you only have 3 peasants, so constantly making army is key here. It's absolutely key, because you can't just come here and spam like hundreds of troops at once. You don't have like 20 peasants, you have like 3, so you have to be constantly making it. I don't know what the queen is doing. I think she's going to the feast that's ended already. Yeah, she's not going to be able to do that. Sometimes the queen will get out of the church and go to the feast, and you have to be aware of that. So you have to close the gate in her face, so to not allow her to go to the feast and keep working. I didn't know what she was going to do there. I thought it was a dance, but you can actually check what's going to happen next. So here it says like dresses needed before the next dance. She needs to make 4 more dresses to the next dance, and there's 1 month until the next feast. So always be aware of that, because it says 1 month, which means like 2 months the feast will start. And you have to be careful with that, because you have to make sure the queen doesn't go to the feast, as this previously discussed. The queen cannot go to the feast. So otherwise she'll stop working, and you will lose honor as a consequence, because you will make less dances. So where is he going now? I think maybe the church. Maybe. So we can promote here again. Now on our last promotion, the 2 things that changes is that the only thing that changes is that we can actually start making knights now. The main thing. So let's see if the king is actually going to the church. What's he doing? Have to always keep an eye on it. Yeah, he's going to the church. He's not going to the queen chamber, as you guys can see. He went right. So you're going to click here once. Click here again. That's all you need. Feast started. Queen is going to go to the feast. We're going to close the door, as previously discussed. She cannot go to the feast. We close the door. And there she goes back to her place. She's going to go to work. There she goes to work. And that's what you want. Keep making those shoes as well, those mantlets, whatever it's called. Let's see, mantlet. Yeah. So another thing that I like to do here, that you can, is actually place the torturers guild. Takes 2 peasants away, but the bonus here is that you're not gonna have pretty much any criminals anymore. The reason why is very simple. I'm gonna delete these, and what you're gonna do, let me see how the army goes. What you're gonna do is actually place the executioner's block. This is what you unlock at the last promotion, like when you become a duke. The executioner's block, it's a instant kill for prisoners, for criminals. They die instantly. So basically, you're gonna have no crime, and whenever you have a criminal, he's gonna die like very, very fast. Like the process becomes almost systemic, where the criminal comes here, the police officer or the guard grabs him. Sorry about that. Grabs him, puts him in the dungeons. He gets judged, the courthouse. Guy comes out and cuts his head off, and he's a peasant again, like another free peasant. And the optimal placement for the executioner's block is like so. You want to have like the head, like the basket, facing the dungeon. So you put it right in front of the courthouse door. So it'd be like right here. That's where they come out, and the basket facing the dungeon. So like so. And you see there, I'll show you afterwards that it's pretty optimized. And so right now we have only one peasant. The reason why is because we have like 3 criminals. So the criminals are actually taking our peasants away. So as a consequence, we can't make army too fast because there's only one single peasant free. So you're gonna see right now, like, guy's gonna get judged and it's gonna get executed like pretty much instantly. Yeah, there it is. Just like that is that. So and the peasant, like, they come back. So the people don't stop at work like for nothing. They just keep working. So let's just move our mantlets. Alright, it's called. We're gonna make some expos. Make like say 100 expos. And once we start making troops, one thing that I recommend is for you to delete one of the woodcutters. So I'm just gonna leave one of these, and to get 1 extra peasant. So this is what I work with. I work with 2 free peasants to make army. Just this is what I work with. Now it may be enough for you, maybe not. You have to be fast, and you have to start making the army soon. And by soon, I would say around 1086 at most. You want to start making your army. Start making an army at 1087. You're probably gonna need more than just 2 peasants. I use only 2 because that's enough for me. Now the king's going somewhere again. I think it's to the queen's chamber. So we're not gonna let him do that. Just click here. Queen is gonna go back to work, which is what you want to have happen. And yeah, that's it. As you guys can see, like the gong pit is placed on an optimal position because here we have a gong that is pretty far away, but it still manages to reach it. So that's very important. So now I think we just had another feast, so we can buy more food. Buying that. Remember, always keep an eye on your king. Like, what's he doing? How many months to the feast? Is there dances? What is going on? Now coming back to this, place a wall here. Place wooden walls just to close the doors, because in the case an assassin comes in, he can't like get out of the doors, or stairmen come in, they can't get out, and then just place moats. We can't place moats here because of the stone, but most maps, except like Grasslands, it has stone, but other maps they don't. So in here, you can actually make this assassin proof because the assassin can still come in and come down. So let's just close this. Place some moats here. Yeah. And so what you can do, however, to completely close the corner is actually just make a block of this thing and just put water both sides, and that's pretty much assassin proof, and no one's going there. So the feast is about to start like in 1 month, and no dresses needed. Now in this case, I do not think that the king is going to the church. Let's see. Let's wait for it to reach 0 and see if the feast is gonna start. Yeah, no. So it reached 0, but the feast didn't start. What does this mean? It means the king is going to the church. The church has started, so we did not miss the church. We're gonna get the church army. And there is a bell that rings when the church starts. You can tell. So here also, as you guys can see, our happiness is kind of going down a little bit. And when you see it going like below 90, if you're having the inn, what you can do is just go normal rations. Normal rations, you're gonna have like a lot of happiness. Happiness is gonna go straight back up to 100. However, if you don't work with the inn, always have your rations on double, and this way you won't never have to worry about happiness. You always be at 100, no problems whatsoever. I work like this. This is my setup. The reason why is because you can actually make a bit more money. It's tiny details. You do not have to follow everything like the courthouse, like the torture guild. You do not need to place that if you don't want to. If it's too much work, if you forget, it's not a big deal whatsoever. The inn, same goes for the inn. Do not need to place that. Do not even need to worry about buying candles as I do, just because you actually make more money if you buy them instead of having two peasants working on candles. But for the sake of simplicity, you can just make the chandler's workshop turn it on, and you won't have to worry about buying candles, because at the start, when you're still like beginning to understand the pro setup, you can forget a lot of things. It's very, very common that you forget. And so to make things more simple and easier on you, I would recommend to go with the easiest setup you possibly can. And so that would be probably without the torture guild, without the inn, and with the candle guys working. You're not gonna make like a lot less money. Don't even trip, because the jump you're gonna make from being like inexperienced player and switching to this, even though you don't like pay attention to these minor details, the money you're gonna make is still gonna be like a difference, like completely ridiculous. You can even test like how much money you make with your normal strategy, the strategy you currently use, if you even have one, compared to this. You're gonna see like the amount of money we make by the end there is absolutely ridiculous compared to whichever other strategy you use, and I'm pretty sure about it. So you don't need to worry. That's just my point for you, saying to you that you don't really have to worry at all about these minor details. So we're making crossbows here, guys, but we are being very slow with our crossbow making, because we started the army slowly, and we are I am currently like talking about things like all the time. So here the king's going to the church, and I would have started the feast before. However, the queen was making a dance. So if had I started the feast and the queen was still making the dance, should go down the stairs and go back in and make the feast, and I would not be able to prevent her from doing the feast. But now that she got down the stairs, and I don't know, she stopped there and thinks for a sec, like, oh, what am I gonna do next? And the feast is on. She's going like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Otherwise, she'll just go back to her bedchamber. Now, since she already decided what she's gonna do, we can actually start the feast here. You can click once to cancel the church. Click twice, start the feast. So as simple as that. We get the church on her. We started the feast. Queen's gonna go back to the bedchamber, and all we have to do is just close the door at her face again. So there she goes, and we close the door, and back she goes. That's it. Simple as that. Keep making troops. Don't forget. If two peasants is uncomfortable for you to make army, I'd recommend to delete the inn, because this is what I work with. Two peasants only. It's enough for me to make the army. However, if it's too little for you, you can just delete the inn, delete the torture guild. You don't have to make candles as well. You can even delete one or two Fletcher workshop to have like 5 peasants. It's really not a must-have. All of those things that I said, they're just minor details. You're gonna make like 2, 3,000, 5,000 less gold than I'm making, but to be honest, you already have more than enough gold to be able to compete at the pro level. So nothing you need to worry about. So another thing here that happened, I was wishing that it would happen, so I can show you, is this glitch. Sometimes you have farms, and the the thieves are gonna get stuck inside the farms. You have to delete those farms and replace them. So that's another tip for you guys. Otherwise, the criminal is gonna be there forever. Farm is never gonna go back to work, and you're losing money basically. So that will also happen sometimes to the chandeliers workshop. They'll happen sometimes as well, the chandeliers, and you have to delete them, so on and so forth. Also, if you're playing with the inn, always keep an eye on the inn, because sometimes the inn, like this dude, is gonna go criminal. He's gonna become a freaking criminal. You're gonna lose all the happiness from the inn, and you're gonna be screwed. You're gonna be screwed because your happiness is gonna go down like pretty fast, and often people forget, like don't understand, like happened to me before. Don't understand why my happiness is going down, and it's because the inn is criminal. Another thing to keep an eye on is always making sure the church and the inn are on double consumption. Um, Max exalted, whatever that means, but it means +8. That's all you need to know. And always make sure of that. So here the queen is going for a dance, and we're gonna get like another ton of honor. So as you can see, we have like absolutely ridiculous amounts of honor. Now the army that I make here, it's pretty dreadful. So we started kind of late making the army, and I haven't like been completely focused on making the army. I have been focused on many other stuff, and so for this reason, we're not gonna be able to spend all of these resources as fast as I wished we could. Now, another thing you're gonna need to place is stables. Stables are horses for our knights, and you wanna always place them, if possible, inside your castle, because if you place them outside, assassins can come in from this space here and just destroy them. This is a strategy that I often use to piss off my enemies and just destabilize their economy, because they have to keep replacing it, and knights will be horseless, which is really, really bad. Knights without horses, really, really bad. Now, amount of stables. I'd recommend anywhere between 3 to 6. Depends on the amount of knights you're making. In this case, I placed 5. I really didn't have to. 4 would be enough, but I went at 5. So we did just 100 crossbows here. Now, often I would make, if I made just 100 crossbows, I would still go for, I don't know, 80 horse archers. Would be this one here, but we're not gonna go for that because we don't have enough time to make that. That's the truth. The peace time is about to end in like 6 months, actually 5, because it's July already. So we're not gonna have time to make all the horse archers we want. And as you can see here, I'm constantly doing the granary thing because it's constantly completely related to the amount of happiness I have. So if I have 100 happiness, I'll always have granary on -4. If my happiness is kind of going down, especially if I need to make more troops, then I'll leave my granary on normal. The reason why is because with more happiness, peasants spawn faster. I think anywhere between 90 and 100, the speed that they spawn is pretty similar, but below 90, it starts to get a little bit questionable. So I would recommend you to leave it on normal rations, just to make more troops faster. Oh, made an assassin there by accident. We're not going to be talking about fighting this game, just economy, and the setup you can use here, it really varies. You can just like your defensive setup. You want to place some towers here, like some of these. You can go ahead, put some ballistas on top. You want to make tunnels, you can make tunnels. I will be showing the defensive setup that I use when I play against other players with a state in the future. So just gonna play some modes here. This is standard pro defense, like very, very basic stuff. This is what you should have, like the least amount of stuff that you should have. So let's just buy more royal food here. And this is when you get like 7 of each. As you could see, like I bought around. I started buying 10 of each, and then it keeps getting consumed. You keep buying more, and by the end, you get to a point when you buy 5 of each and you have exactly 7 of each, and that's the last feast that I'll make, and it rounds up perfectly. Like the amount I won't have to buy anymore. I'll have no royal food spare to sell, it's gonna be like perfect, you know. So all is gonna be consumed. I'm gonna have zero of everything, and that's the last feast that I'll make, and before the fighting begins. So here we're on November. Now we didn't make any knights because, as I said, like the army, I'm just gonna sell the crossbows. No point of having them anymore. No point of making crossbows after the peacetime ends. So here I could start making knights, and here I could spam like with 2,300 honor. Each knight costs 50 honors. So if you start making the army faster, if you do it like start making it sooner and faster than I did, more focused with this amount of honor, you can actually make like that. Let's just see, like 46 knights. It's not a lot, but it's enough. It's pretty decent. So so let's just keep going. King is going to the queen chamber. We're not gonna let him do that. I'm gonna start a feast, the last one. I'll let it start naturally. Now this is December. Now December means 1 month away from the war. So when we're actually on November, what I like to do is delete some stuff because you really need extra peasants. Like you need extra peasants to make army faster, rebuild your army like during the battle. You have to be constantly making army. So what I like to do, this is just me, I delete the inn. I put my granary on +8 because no win means less happiness, and so you must have your granary on +8. I make the chandler's workshop. I put him to work, so I don't have to focus. I don't have to buy more candles. Also, always remember to have cloth, especially after the even after the peacetime ends. I still like to buy cloth because I still make honor from the dances, and honor is needed to make more knights during the fight. So this is just me. Some players like to delete the bedchamber and the lord's kitchen to get extra peasants, and yeah, this way they don't have to delete so many Fletchers. Because what I'm gonna do here as well is delete some Fletchers. I like to delete eight Fletchers. So here, as you can see, like we're gonna have some peasants left. We can actually like make some knights as well. You should be making them like much sooner. Making them right now because well, we weren't too focused in making the army. But yeah, let's just start a feast here. Started. Queen gonna do her thing. So now it's January. In theory, like should stop the video here because that's when peacetime ends. So the economy, like anything that goes like after this doesn't really count, quote unquote, doesn't count for the setup, I should say. Like the amount of gold you make after this is kind of irrelevant. So here I'm just placing some traps. So this is a basic defense, pretty basic. It's not the best at all, not by far, but it's the most basic you can make that keeps you safe from most things in general. No assassin is gonna come through like from the moats. They can only come through from here. This is why I like to leave some knights over here just to make sure no assassins are gonna come by. Now, of course, they can still come by, but it's an obstacle. So the more obstacles you have, the better. This is just pretty standard, just so no knights can come through in between the moats here. I'd recommend you place these and sell the AO because you don't really need that anymore. As you guys can see, like last feast started 0 of food, sell the crossbows, and now we can just check on our gold, and we made almost 50,000 gold. Of course, we sold most of our expos, and this wasn't like the most optimal setup. Didn't do like anything amazing. The start was a little bit slower than my usual start, so on and so forth. But still, like almost 50k gold it's pretty amazing. This strategy is extremely strong, and it's like with that start that I did, it's pretty much fail safe with just 10 apples and 5 red, leave it on -4, then just switch to +8 and never touch the granary again. Like pretty solid. And you don't have to touch the granary again if you have it on +8. You can just leave it there and not place the inn, not place the torture guild. You don't have to place any of those stuff. You don't need to worry about that. You can just make more troops, have more peasants, be more comfortable in your game style, especially at the start, because it's not straightforward, but it's not easy to remember all the things that you have to do, especially the order that you have to do. You have to practice a lot. So my recommendation is just keep it simple. Don't place the inn. Don't place the torture guild. Make the candles. Do not like buy candles. You can buy at the start like some 20 or something, just while the guys like haven't made any. You can just buy some just to have some, but just have these guys. And if you need more peasants, you can delete more Fletchers. You're gonna make less money. You're gonna make like 45k, but 45k, honestly, amazing. Like you can crush any inexperienced player with 45k gold easily. Like no questions asked, hands down. Like your economy is gonna be crushing, like absolutely crushing with 45. If you made all the stuff that I did, and didn't place like and all the stuff that I talked about just now, made your candles, 45k, 40k, it's already perfect. You're gonna have an army much more massive than this, because you're gonna start making more troops. You have more peasants. You will start making the army first, not first but before. And here, like I couldn't even spend all my cash and honor. This is really bad. Just to keep that in mind. This is not good to have before the peacetime. You when you have like near zero of both, means you utilized everything to make the maximum amount of troops that you could. And yeah, guys, I think this is it for the video. But just to wrap it up, it's gonna be more nights. And yeah, I think that's it. So I think the queen is going to, I'm not sure if it's the dance or if the feast, but I do believe it's the dance. So I'm just gonna let her do it, do her thing, and then we're gonna go towards the honor grinded, honor gained, grinded, whatever. Honor, guys. I'll talk about how much honor I have and how much honor you can have. Now, about granary and statues and crime, the amount of honor doesn't really matter. Like statues, depending on the amount of statues, the more statues you place, the more honor you're gonna get from this. So it varies a lot. It's no constant in here. Granary, same. Sometimes you get a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but it's the difference is so small, it doesn't matter. Crime, same thing. Now, when you talk about the jousting, the most honor you can get from jousting, I believe to be 620. I think it is 620. We got only 600. It's already February, so 620 is usually the maximum you can get. 600 is standard, pretty standard. Anything below that means you're placing your jousting a little bit too late. Dancing. When it comes to dancing, we made 1,000. She's gonna go do another dance. We're gonna be at 1,200, but it's already February, so it doesn't, quote unquote, doesn't count. But it does. Like afterwards, like you're still gonna be able to make the night. So this dance is good. However, the most you can get is 1,400. 1,400 is optimal for dances. So yeah, feasting 666 is the most you can get for the no estate. No estate strategy. Feasting is the only one that is guaranteed to, like, not guaranteed, but the first one you're gonna start getting right. Like you're almost always gonna get 666 unless you make some feast that is not full of food, like with all the 7 varieties of food. Church maximum you can get is 450, and by the end of 1089, I'd say about like I think October or even September, the king is actually gonna go for another church, but the church honor is not gonna drop inside the peacetime. It's not gonna drop until January 1090, so it doesn't count, quote unquote, but it still get like the 600 from the church like 2-3 months after the piece ended. Here we only got 300, so it's not good, but it's not bad at all. Like it's not the perfect, but it's not bad at all. 300 is great. And dancing, it's okay. Like we got like 1000. Maximum we can get is 1400. So some room to improve here. And when you start, your numbers are gonna be pretty bad. And you don't have to worry about that. With time, you catch up. You start remembering like what you have to do, how to control your king, how to control your queen, how to close the church. If we closed the church by the time the queen was coming here before, maybe we could have gotten 1200 dancing, and now this would give us the 1400, and it would be pretty good, but not the best yet. So this is it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoy. I hope you learned something. I hope you become pros. Like from the bottom of my heart, I do hope that, because the pro community right now is so small, so tiny. There barely are any left, and getting the economy right is the first step to becoming a semi-pro, or a first step to becoming a pro as well, because it's divided in semi-pros and pros. Semi-pros is someone who's got the decent economy, moderate fighting, knows how to defend somehow, but it's overall not great. Pro is just well-rounded player in almost all rounds of the game. So hopefully you practice this. Hopefully this was good enough for you to understand what you need to do. It's the only commentated video on economy I could ever find in YouTube for pro economy. Like I haven't found any commentated step-by-step guide like this. So hopefully this is enough for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna be wrapping it up here, and have a nice one. Hopefully I'll be seeing you guys. Also, you can place these things here for extra defense. We're gonna be talking about defense on future videos. But yeah, guys, this is it. Peace up, and I'll see you guys later.